Florida, tropical system's major impact was in fact three tornadoes that dropped out of the landfalling arm of the cell. Pretty scary moments for some. Looking ahead, there is a typhoon, tight and strengthening in the West Pacific, slated to cross over the Mariana Islands into the Philippine Sea, and we'll diagnose when it gets there, but for now the alert goes to the tiny islands alone in the water. Let's jump to the papers and start with a look at one of the ways geomagnetic storms affect the lower atmosphere. The penetrating electric fields can last for hours and hours, driving energetic phenomena and directly affecting the ionosphere and therefore the global electric circuit. This is the immediate effect that space weather has been seen to have on clouds, surface pressure, and particle nucleation. It's moving at the speed of electricity through the global electric circuit. Another way to affect that circuit is direct particle injection and ambient air ionization by cosmic rays. Folks, we've seen the following correlation dozens of times. Always nice to get another. And always nice to correct my missing this paper in a core journal earlier this summer. Not exactly sure how I missed such a blatant honoring of Svensmark and the lightning connection with cosmic rays. A very direct relationship. And now in the same realm, a very interesting paper here details a dip in the ionosphere at the South Atlantic magnetic anomaly. It's the weakest field point on the entire planet. I want to bring back archive video from almost exactly 1 year ago on why that is the weakest point in the fields. This video is meant to be a quick reminder about a sensible and physics-based explanation for the South Atlantic anomaly, one that doesn't require interpretation of Earth's core soundings based on earthquake waves going through them. However, we must begin with the magnetic poles. For those who are just joining the program, both north and south magnetic poles are moving. South Pole is well ahead in terms of motion, having already left Antarctica, but the north is moving much faster, racing across the Arctic Ocean. As this is happening, Earth's magnetic field is weakening as well. Let's take a close look at the pole motion. The north isn't really bending, that's just how it looks on a rectangular projection. The red is where it is going into the future, and the other colors are what has happened so far. And its path here would have it heading down through Siberia towards the Indian Ocean. The south magnetic pole is slowly traipsing up into those waters already and is on a line to meet somewhere in the ocean there, but exactly where is tough to say. One thing is for sure, the South Atlantic anomaly is found on the opposite side of the planet. This anomaly, the blue asterisk, is a weak point in Earth's magnetic field, exposing the region to higher levels of cosmic rays and charged particles from the magnetosphere and Van Allen belts during CME impacts. The questions tend to revolve around the concept of why it is weakening, and often the emails are accompanied by a link to a paper about core or mantle characteristics beneath the South Atlantic anomaly. Well, there are certainly plenty of those papers that exist, but a much better explanation involves the magnetic field effects over distance. As you move a magnet closer to metal, the more you feel the tug. The further you go from the magnet, the less attractive force is there to be overcome. This is the first thing young children learn when playing with magnets. It just so happens that the point where the magnetic poles are set to meet is the exact opposite spot in the world from the South Atlantic anomaly, and indeed, both magnetic poles are moving further away from that point. Why would one expect not to see a drop in magnetic fields there if the magnetic poles are moving away? And why would one need to go searching for another explanation? Remember, we've never actually been more than a fraction of the way through the crust. The mantle and core are still largely a mystery, and there is mainstream science-based explanations for the South Atlantic anomaly that are not mentioned in one single piece of the journal literature. To summarize, they want to explain this weak spot with core mantle boundary conditions beneath Africa and the Atlantic, but all you need to comprehend is how a magnet works. Greater effect the closer you get, and its force diminishes as you move it away. Both magnetic poles of Earth are moving directly away from the south.